Well, Danica has caught up to Dario. Danica has gotten in lockstep with him. We're going to find out if it's going to be able to push him to the lead, because here they go. As it is right down low with Dan Weldon, Dario and Danica on the high side. And here comes Marco. Oh, look out! Airborne! Franchitti's upside down. Dixon is involved. The wheels touched. Weldon is involved.
Airborne up here, got up into the fence. We got him coming down. Copy that. Scott, you okay?
Looks like Sam Hornish also involved. And right now, folks,
yeah, he got hit in the head.
Think good thoughts. The Delphi safety crew is heading for Dario. And from this angle, obviously, we can't see a thing.
We've seen Marco Andretti get airborne and go over this year, but not at the speed.
Remember, we're lapping
this type of impact that Dario had.
Between 215 and 218.
These cars are built just like a jet fighter. They are so strong. The roll bars in them themselves are very strong. We've seen this before where the cars go over, land on the roll bar. Once they right the car, the driver just pops out, brushes himself off, and sometimes wishes he had a spare car to hop in to keep going.
We saw a shot of Thomas Schechter. He had already pulled into pit lane, and there he is. And they are bringing Dario's car over. And they're going to try and bring it down very gently.
These cars weigh 1,525 pounds. Sam Hornish is at the back of the car. And there's Dario taking the steering wheel off. Will unbuckle his 6-way harness.
This is incredible. The integrity of the cockpit of this car. Guys, start breathing easy. Your guy's okay.
You saw his team just a moment ago start to see him get out of the car and start to applaud.
There's Scott Dixon. He was out. He comes over to check Dario. Is that Terry Trammell with his back to us there talking to him?
He is. Terry was my doctor through 2 fractured backs in my career. Some of the best people here on the Delphi safety team travel with the IndyCar series each and every event.
So there's Dan Weldon as well, as he was swept up in this multi-car crash. Sam Hornish, we know, was involved. Scott Dixon, Dario Franchitti. It looks like Ed Carpenter may have been involved as well. There is the list. A.J. Foyt IV. So a total of 6 drivers. And boy, that is the best sight I've seen all day.
Absolutely. Through all this melee now with 55 laps to go, with all the damage we have, Danica Patrick, who's been so aggressive running in that front group all day, is listed as the leader.
Remember a little bit earlier in the broadcast we had talked about the laps completed. Up until this moment, Dario had completed all but 1 lap of the entire 2007 season. All right, Jack Arute, you've caught up with Thomas Schechter.
Yeah, he's made his way back to his pit stall. And Thomas, take us through what happened out there.
I tell you what, that was some of the scariest stuff I've ever seen. And just 2 cars touched. It was, you know, Dario was pushing really hard. I think, you know, Dario was wanting to come down, and Dan wanted to come up a bit. And all I saw, I saw Dario backwards, upside down in the air. I was fully slammed on the brakes. I didn't know whether he was going to come straight into my foot. Well, honestly, just one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And pity because we were running so good, you know, and with no other teammates up there, it was good. So look forward to the next race.
Well, on pit road, Danica Patrick's getting service, Brienne.
I am headed that way, guys. She is out. I don't believe they've made any changes to that car. They were planning on lining up all 3 teammates left of AGR and taking away from the rest of the pack.
Well, it was not a good pit stop, we can tell you, Brian. They were having trouble with the left front tire as as she loses 4 spots, drops from the race lead down to 5th. Marco Andretti's going to come off the race of pit road first. Matsuura picks up 2 spots. Buddy Rice picks up 3 through all this. I mean, Buddy has been a non-factor throughout the day, but all of a sudden, because of what happened through this 6-car crash, he's back into the mix.
And we saw Scott Sharp getting some repair work on his car, a new nose on the front of his car, so he obviously had some damage during that melee also.
So we should tell you that right now we are down to 7 cars running as a result of this 6-car crash, because we had other incidents throughout the day. So let's go back and take a look at this and watch the wheels.
Now the left rear of the car on top, the 27 car, and then the car on the right front wheel of Dan Weldon. Looked like Dan was just trying to move up towards the right just a little bit, and his right front wheel and his target machine got the Canadian Club machine up in the air. And see everything else going on there. The parts are just strewn everywhere. And the real lucky guy in this, Marty, I think really was Thomas Schechter, because of everything coming down on top of his car, he could end up having the car land right inside the cockpit.
Also, watch Scott Dixon. He almost had the same situation. Watch the 9-car come in here.
Up and over.
See right there. I mean,
absolutely.
Wow.
Actually, it's the 22 of AJ Foyt, not Thomas Schechter, excuse me.
I mean, those 2 guys, very, very fortunate.
Remember, this is 215, 218 miles an hour.
It goes right up and over the 9-car.
Now, I've been upside down before, and I'll tell you, it's the most eerie thing because it's quiet. There's no longer any road noise. You're not going along the road surface whatsoever. You get in the air, and yes, there's some crashing that's going on before you get in the air, but when you're in the air, it's very, very quiet, and then you come down to just a flurry of noise when the car makes impact back down with the ground.
Take one more look at it. Now keep an eye on Dixon coming in right here. See what I mean?
Oh.
That is so close, so close. And then right over on top of AJ the 4th. 2 very lucky guys. Well, 6 very lucky guys.
Remember the speed that we spoke about, 218, maybe even 20 miles an hour now going down there. And we're just talking about touching just for a moment. The 2 tires get together, and as soon as the rubber tires touch each other, the cars are off. And we talk about the drivers having no control at that point in time, and then you're just a passenger. And the weird thing is for drivers too, coming up from behind, is that you see the car upside down. Now here is something you don't generally see very often because cars are not usually upside down, but look at the damage. Sam Hornish in his Team Penske Marlboro suit that he's got going on right there at the very back of the car is there to help also. Wow.
And then this was the best sight of all when we saw Dario take off the steering wheel. All right, let's get back to what we have out on the racetrack. There are 7 cars running. Marco Andretti is now your race leader as a result of the cycle of pit stops. Kosuke Matsuura is in 2nd. Tony Kanaan 3rd. Danica Patrick 4th. Scott Sharp 5th. Ryan Hunter-Reay 6th. Buddy Rice is in pit lane right now, listed in 7th. They are working on his car.